Great start to the show, but as if that weren't enough, we also have the world's most famous, and Alan, I mean this with respect, most famous real magician. It's Mr. David Blaine. There he is. And you know, if you look there, you'll see he is currently balancing on a chair, unaided. He's been there for almost 5 minutes now. Not his best stunt, but, you know, he'll have more when he comes out. Now, that's enough, I feel, but we've managed also to get one of the hottest music sensations. Let's get our next guest out, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're excited. I know I am. He is, I think, the world's premier magician, illusionist, call him what you will, Mr. David Blaine.
It's a kind of magic. 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 Is this the kind of magic?
David Blaine. Mr. David Blaine.
I brought some cards in case I decide to
Yeah.
sell.
What did you think of Alan's attempt at... What was that called when they flick the cards? What do you call that card flicking?
It's called scaling.
Called scaling. And
Yeah.
was he any good? Do you think he's got what it takes to be a professional scaler?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Is it this dull? You've got to start playing patience while I'm talking. That's just about the rudest thing I've ever seen in my life. You know, hello, I was talking there with you. This is not going well for me tonight at all, you know? And it's near Christmas and everything.
I get excited about throwing cards, you know, he's always...
Well, even so, wait for a gap.
You all right?
David, last time you were on the show, we talked about the big event you were planning, which was called Vertigo.
Right.
OK? It's been and gone. Remind the audience, what was Vertigo? What were you doing? What were you hoping to achieve?
Well, basically, what I did is I built a column, a pillar, that went up about 100 feet. It's like a 10-story building. And I, you know, stood on the pole for a day and a half, so 2 days, 1 night. And at the end, I jumped off the pillar into a bunch of cardboard boxes at the bottom, so...
Okay. Let's have a look at this. It's David Blaine in action doing the thing called Vertigo.
This is where I get to peek. This is my excitement for this whole run.
Quite something. Now, I believe that was in May of this year, is that right?
Yeah, that was May.
Okay. And when you're up there for that long, I mean, you're up there for 36 hours, and that's you up there. You can't really hide. There's nowhere you can go. You're not switching with anyone.
No.
For start, what do you do for toilet requirements?
That tube that was coming down my sock, that was a catheter. So basically, I would urinate through it and go out right into the pole and drop 100 feet on its own.
Well, that must have been nice for the spectators. And what about for...
The problem was after I hadn't drank anything up there, so I was able to hold it in for the whole 35 hours after the first time I went, which is in the beginning, and somehow it came undone.
Right.
So, you know, I'm sitting up on top of the pole for an hour in front of everybody just trying to fix, you know,
well, you know, I was going to wonder how you did that long without that as well. That's what my next... What about for... For me, it's a 12-hour. It's regular as clockwork.
That's what I've become used to, is on every stunt I do, I'm guaranteed to spill a little bit, you know.
You've got some cards out here. Will you do something for us this evening?
I was going to just scale some, but I'll show you something new.
Well, we've seen that. There's no excitement in that anymore. Yeah, you watching, Davis? You watching? Have a look at that. He's actually sending it into the green room. Look at that.
I could do that, but I've got bad wrist.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. No, David, that's an expensive screen. Hold on. Hey, you're not at home. Come on, behave yourself, will you? You wouldn't do that on your own TV. Don't do it on mine. Stop it, Blaine. Right, I'm taking these away, and you're not getting them back. You are not getting these back. For later. You've got a book out. David, there's a book out right now. We're going to talk about another stunt you're doing in a minute, but this book is tremendous, because I'm a fan of magic. I love forms. It's kind of it's about you, but it's also about the history of magic, and you tell us how to do some tricks in here as well, don't you?
Yeah.
It's called Mysterious Stranger. Tell me about, you know, this is obviously your love of magic and your desire to share, I imagine. Is that right?
Well, it was kind of like, at first I was reluctant to do a book because I respect so many great writers, you know. But it was kind of like I started thinking about Willy Wonka, and he did this golden ticket thing and all the chocolate. So I started thinking it would be so cool to do a book where there was a treasure hunt, you know. So like woven into the book are little clues, and whoever could figure out those clues would be led to $100,000 that's buried somewhere.
So this is a real challenge. You've buried some money somewhere.
Yeah.
And the clues are in this book?
All of them, yeah.
Wow, I think I've spotted one. There's a picture of you as a child, and it looks like they've sort of grafted a magic wand onto the photograph of your leg.
Oh, yeah, no, those are leg braces.
Well, thanks for making me feel bad in front of you. How was I to know? You look all right. You're running around dancing back there. There's some great stories about the history of magic and just some of the characters of magic. There's one guy in particular who I loved reading about. Was this the little fella? Was it Johnny Eck?
Yeah, he was amazing.
No, we'll use that picture later. That's another small magician. There we go, there we go.
Yeah, there's a guy named Johnny Eck who was a half body, so he was severed at the waist, but he had an identical twin brother that was a full body twin brother. And so this magician had the idea that he would put the full body brother in the audience of the show. He was doing a stage show, and the identical twin, Johnny Eck, that was a half body, was in the box already, and he was going to do this trick where he saw the person in half from the audience. So he pulled the full body guy up and put him in the box, and he starts sawing the box in half, and it's a little bloody, not too much, it's a little bit, but people think it's a trick, so they're clapping and laughing. Pulls the box into two pieces. He shows the legs here and he shows the upper body here, which was an old trick even back then. He puts the box back together, opens up the box, and the twin brother, the full body guy, starts walking out, and the audience is clapping, but they've seen it before, so they're clapping normally. As he's walking back to his seat, he starts to shake, and his upper half of his body falls to the ground and goes running away on his arms. His legs go running off the other side. Blood was trailing, and the whole audience ran out screaming like crazy. Yeah. What the coolest part was the legs. There was a midget holding up trousers like this, and Johnny Eck was sitting on his head.
And I believe they used that same trick to get in the cinemas, 2 for the price of 1, didn't they?
Oh yeah, that was a real use.
Do you have something you can show us tonight? Is there something you could do this evening?
I just told you I don't do it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, well, you know, we'd love to see something because
I brought this little thing that I was playing with. You know, it's kind of new in development though.
There's something new for
so
you.
You have to watch.
Can I assist in any way here?
You can, yeah, you can absolutely help.
Okay.
You can, I don't know if you can see. We just use this thin needle.
Okay.
Maybe
I won't assist. Maybe you should do this one more.
Let me come close to you, see. So what we do is, we get this needle and I just push it like this. Can you all see from
You know, I don't know whether we actually want to see this trick. I was
closer.
maybe thinking about you getting me to choose a card.
Look closely.
No, you don't have to do this.
Can you all see that needle starting to go in? Even here.
But it is going in. That isn't a trick.
It looks really good.
This is actually just, you're just hurting yourself for our entertainment. Ah, it's coming through.
Let's just get it.
Now, look, here we go. What the? No one wants to see this on their TV. Is that that's not a real hand, that's a rubber hand. It's coming through the other side of the rubber hand. I think maybe you should think about another hobby or something. But if it's going to pop through, let's see it then. Come on. It's come through the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Blaine, that's quite remarkable. Look at that. Oh, I would... Oh, David, that's just gone through your hand. But that's more like, that's not really I don't want to go anywhere near that.
But can you even see the bottom? Is it possible to see?
Oh, yeah.
Through the top, see it going through? Yeah. Oh, you know what you could do? Here, you could pull it out for me if you want. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't like it. Ah, it's horrible. Ah, yeah. Ah, well done. That was actually quite unpleasant.
Should I do it again?
No, don't do it again. I just want to ask you, David, I know you've got a big stunt planned for next year here in London. What are you doing? What do you got lined up?
Oh, I'm going to do that here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get roped up, cuffed up by the police, locked up. I'm going to have lead boots strapped on like the mobsters, the gangsters used to drown the bodies in the river. And I'm going to be attached to a helicopter or put off the top of the Tower Bridge. I'm going to be released straight down into the river. Now, when you hit water from that high, it's like hitting pavement. It's very serious. When you hit it that high, if you're off 1 centimeter, you're dead. If your arm is out, it'll rip your arm right off. It's no different than
There's
him.
lead boots on, I mean.
No, but the lead boots, here's the idea. If I can position my body perfectly, the lead boots would pierce the water, and if my body goes straight through, then I'll survive. That's the only way to live through it. But when I'm underwater, I'm going to have all this stuff on, so I have to get out of the ropes, out of the handcuffs, and then out of the boots before I'm stuck on the bottom of the river to die, drown. And then I've been working on holding my breath, so right now I'm up to like 3.5 minutes, but I think I need about 7 before I could do this perfectly.
No, I think you need an air tank, is what you actually need. That sounds fantastic. And that's going to be when next year? May, did you say?
Around May, I think.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I'd like you to come back on the show. I would invite you on after you've done it, but, maybe we should hedge our bets and get you on before, just in case. David, as ever, it's fabulous talking to you. I'm fascinated by what you do and how you do it.
Thank you.
The trick, I think, was exceptional. It wasn't really a trick. You actually put that through, didn't you?
Oh, it was an illusion.
Was it an illusion?
Yeah.
I think you put it through your hand. Come on, let's have a look at those eyes. You reading my mind? I know how to stop you reading my mind. I made this so you couldn't read my mind.
Oh, that looks good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, you see, you can't read my mind.
That's good.
No one's reading my mind while I'm wearing this hat. Hey, want to wear the hat?
I'll pass on
Ah, David Blaine, ladies and gentlemen. David, thank you so much. Great. Marvellous stuff. Mr. David Blaine. What about that? Okay, I love Japan. Here's why. There's a practice from the land of the rising sun.